hello. See you there. Otherwise, oh well, never mind. Hello there. It's me, Egil Thorsson. Don't call me Twinkle Toes for nothing. Well, have I got a story for you? It's called The Farmer and the Two Elves. A long time ago, when the Vikings were raiding and settling and just generally doing what Vikings do, there was a farmer and his wife, and you know, their sons were away on a long ship raid, and the farm was getting a bit much for them. And they sat at the table one morning. We'll call the man Eric, his wife Helga. Here, this farm is so much hard work for me. I need people to give me a hand. I know what you mean. It's very hard work, isn't it? Yeah, my hands are so rough. Yeah, you don't need to tell me that. Anyway, I suppose I better get to work. And off to work he went. And he was looking after the cattle, and he thought, I'm not looking forward to this. I've got a barn full of corn and wheat, and it's all got to be threshed. And I'm getting on. I can't afford the time either. Still, anyway, off he went, looking after the cows. By about midday, he turned up at the barn. Beautiful barn it was. He remembered he built it when he was a lad, about 20 years old. And as he went in, all the corn had been thrashed, the bins were full of corn, all the wheat had been threshed, and all the wheat had been put in there, the straw had been piled up that was left. Now that is strange, that is odd. I have no idea of doing that. Oh. So I went to the house. You've been threshing all that wheat and stuff? No, I've not left the house all day. Some of us have to do some work for a living. I've been cleaning and polishing all that. Ah, right. Why do you ask? Well, I tell you, all of the, all that corn and all that wheat we had, yeah, it's all been threshed, straw sorted, everything. Beautiful job. I sense some magic here. You might be right. So come with me down to the barn. So I went down the barn. Nothing. Beautiful job they've done. Now I think a bit of education coming in here. Days of the Vikings and Saxons, they believed that land spirits, and who's to say they're not wrong, lived in trees, in stones, in water, and they had red hats. And these characters, if you're good with them, you prospered. If you abused them, you came to grief. So anyway, the farmer said, look, see what I mean? Everything's done neat and tidy. Fantastic, isn't it? You're right. But who do I thank? Who do I give credit to? Well, the only way, she said, is you hide there tonight, and they better come back, because you just put some more in there, and we shall see. Okay. So I went back to the main hall, had his evening meal. His wife sat by the fire spinning and weaving, as most Viking women did. And the Viking man took with him a flagon containing mead, because could be thirsty work looking after these things. And he sat behind the bale of hay. Meanwhile, in the night, he heard the owls hooting, he heard a fox crying out, he even heard a wolf. A lot of activity. But he sat there in silence, hardly daring to breathe, when all of a sudden there were two bright lights, and it was like candle lights in the dark. He looked up, and there he saw two little figures, both with red hats, like mine, frisian caps. These are what the Vikings called landvertier, or land spirits. Like I said, You treat them with respect, they'll treat you right. The farmer made a big mistake. Oi, you! What do you think you're doing? And the little elves, land spirits, they reacted as anyone would. And one of them picked a little silver hammer, got him straight between the eyes. Down went the farmer. That'll teach him. And they carried on and left. Next morning, the farmer woke up. He had a thumping headache and a red mark straight between his eyes. "How'd you do, dear?" said his wife. "I don't know. I was waiting and waiting. And I said, 'Oi, you there,' in a very loud voice, I have to say. And they threw something at me, and next thing, I woke up this morning with a sore head." "Oh, you fool," she said. "You don't upset Lambert here. You treat him with respect. I shall go out and leave honey and milk for him." "Honey and milk? God, my head done half hurt." And the lady was as good as a word. Every night she left honey and milk for the Lambert. The year after, the farmer died. Now, most people say that's the end of the story. It's not, because the wife, she had her head screwed on, and leaving honey and milk for the Lambert, she noticed that the cattle grew fatter, that they had more calves, that the sheep, their fleeces were thicker, and to the end of her days, she honoured the land spirits, and they honoured her. Strange thing, when she died, two little men appeared, and all the cattle, all the sheep, went into the river, and it was back as when the farmer himself was there. So, I hope you've learnt a lesson from that, in as much as you honour the land, and the land will honour you. Now, I hope you've enjoyed that. Please let us know if you have. You can subscribe, pressing the usual bell, or hashtag Viking Folktales, and you'll learn all great wonderful things. Probably more than I do, but there you go. And if you have ideas about what you would like, because let's face it, it's much your channel as it is ours, we'd like to hear what you think you'd like to hear and what you don't want to hear, and we'd be more than happy to read your comments. We do get back to you eventually. It does take a while because there's a lot of you and not many of us, but be patient and we'll get back to you. So until we meet again, and we'll have more stories for you, me and Bragi, of course. Don't forget Bragi. Without him, none of this would happen. Anyway, so be safe and make the world a happy place. Bye now.
Well, folks, it's time to kick it old school. So you can feel cool. Give it to me, baby. Baby. Yeah.